morning. Let's go haul some corn. We're gonna fit through there. Might be a tight squeeze. Anyways, we are hauling some corn today. Last week we capitalized on the market peaking up a little bit. Is it a great price? No, but we need to move some corn and some beans, so well, we pounced. So those are just cheapo wireless backup cameras. For some reason though, it took a long time to get that one to work. Seems like if you got a couple guys hauling, sometimes the camera doesn't want to connect to a different monitor. But we got it. Probably spent more time on it than I should, but around here, there's so much dust loading in this drive-through that it's worth it. Because now I can stay in the truck and out of the dust. Probably can't tell, but we're full. So over here, I've got to shut off that bin, and then all that has to clean out because there's no way of stopping flow in the system, really. So over here, shut that off, and now we got approximately 3 minutes before we really quit. Yeah, probably 2. As long as you shut it off as soon as you get to that bow, usually don't overrun trucks. So should be all right. Kind of wish now we would have put a holding bin up top. But we didn't. Just stopped in to grab me something to drink before we head to town, and it's like Dad got the mill over here. So we have a lot of metalworking equipment because, well, we've done a lot of metalworking over the years. At one time, Dad built a strip till bars, a lot of planer, parallel lines, stuff like that. We haven't used the mill much in a long time, but now that we actually have room to work and a warm place for us all to work, I think we will be using it more and more. And Jim's over here finishing up the welding table. So apparently we were not the only ones that took advantage of that market bump. Friday, BJ hauled in here while we were working on that welding table, and he got several loads in before noon. Not the case today. Lots of traffic. Cargill's closed now. I'm just getting back here to the shop. Let's see what Jim is into. And Dad, I believe we're going to be packing some bearings for the gearbox that went out last week. Good morning. So this is the next day. We finished hauling grain yesterday, and well, we had baseball practice, and then it was dark, so here we are. But anyways, today we are hopefully going to haul some grain. I don't know if we're going to get that to that point. BJ has his pesticide applicators test, or pesticide license test, and me and Jim are going to work on the gearbox that we got the bearings for last week. And then after that, hopefully we'll haul some grain. But right now I got to go after some gravel. The driveway around the shop's getting a lot of potholes in it, and we want to get some gravel before this rain coming. I don't want to do it tomorrow because tomorrow's going to be the first day we'll be able to be in the field, and I got a lot of spread to do. So that's the plan. We're going to have to load of gravel right now. Well, at least no mice jumped out. That'll probably happen going down the road. The wheat's looking good, but it's also looking hungry. So that's Dad's goal this week before the rain is to get our wheat, get some fertilizer on our wheat. We also need to get a little bit of herbicide on the wheat to control some of the weed pressure we've got coming in. Now, one thing I hear people talk about is Roundup on wheat. That's not a thing, at least around here, because there's no such thing as Roundup resistant wheat. If we were to spray that wheat with Roundup or glyphosate, which is the same thing. Roundup's just a trade. Roundup's a brand of glyphosate. It would kill that wheat, and we would have no crop left. So now we're just sitting here waiting on the loader operator and looking at all this gravel, thinking I'd like to have it. I never thought growing up that I would sit here in envy of all this gravel. But gravel's expensive, and I got a lot of lanes. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know we have a gravel pit. We don't have any way of sorting gravel, so you're just kind of getting sand, big gravel, little gravel. It's okay for like farm lanes and stuff, but for the driveway right around the shop, I want to do a little bit of limestone. Park this pile of gravel up here somewhere, and we can spread it at our leisure. Here we got 411s. Basically, that is number 4 size rock and all the dust that came with it. No, this is 57 size rock and all the dust that came with it. 304s are 4 size rock and all the dust. Had to come after one more load. So Dad's up there rinsing the sprayer. He hasn't started spraying wheat yet, but he ran some water in there just to flush everything out, and then yeah, he's going to get started spraying the wheat next. So here I was just trying to patch some potholes. Tailgating's fine, but my tailgating is not as wide as my lane. So I basically spread it a little thick, and I'll get the skid steer and spread it across those potholes. That's kind of my plan. So since we're close to school letting out, well, within an hour, I'm going to spread some of that gravel before we go over and fix that gearbox, because as soon as we get over there and get covered in grease, well, I'm going to have to go pick up a kid from school. So while I'm waiting on that, I've got to pull a Thunder wagon over here. Dad needs some fuel and some air, and then we'll get him busy spraying. Up with a lot of potholes during the construction process of our house. This is the driveway going back to my house lane. There's a good base here, but just getting a little bumpy. Well, now that we've got that done, we can get that gearbox put together. That way we can maybe move some beans out of that bin that we're unable to get beans out of. That makes sense. There's Mrs. Brown and the kiddos just getting out of school, and we're there. Oh.
Yeah.
Looks like we're gonna need to vacuum.
Yep.
Unless you got your waterproof boots on. So it rained since the last time we were over here, and yeah, not too bad right there actually. Guess the sump pump worked. On the other side though, we've got some water that ran out of our holding bin. So our holding bin's real watertight, in case you can't tell. Now, if this is your first video joining us, this whole facility is getting redone this year. We got to get to that point. So, yeah, all this is getting torn out. Only thing's going to be left is the grain bins and the legs, or the grain leg. We're reusing the old gasket. We just got some gasket maker to hold it together. Like I said, only got to run for a couple months.
And I gotta be more too.
3 or 4.
I gotta be about. I got that back one in. It was.
So since this bearing sits in a hole full of water, we're filling the whole case with grease. We're gonna test it and see what happens here. Did it move? Did it move, Jim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit it again.
Huh?
Hit it one more time. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Let it run a minute. May have to tighten the bolts eventually, but she'll work.
Perfect. Stirred up all that. Kind of looks like what comes out of a pig, don't it?
It's like a baby's diaper.
Well, happy daylight savings time. It's 7 o'clock and it's still daylight. But me and Jim, we got it fixed. We both stink like rotten beans, covered in grease. So we're done here now. I'm glad that's over. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. 30 loads, that's all I need it to work. 30 truckloads, and then it's getting ripped out. Well, I'm gonna keep spreading some gravel and the skid steer tonight while we still got a little daylight. But thanks for watching, everybody. If you would, do me a favor, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Check out our sponsor at Chem Solutions if you're still looking for some chem products, and we'll see you in the next one.